On Wednesday evening, Arsenal will be playing again, even though it feels like we just eked out that 0-0 draw at the Etihad Stadium. This time we'll be playing at the Emirates Stadium against a team that we narrowly beat earlier on in the season thanks to Declan Rice, beating them 4-3. This time in the Emirates Stadium we'll be taking on Luton Town. This is again another crucial game. And I know it's very repetitive, I'm always saying this, but especially this part of the season, every game is crucial. Every game is a must win. The fact that we've now played Liverpool and City, every game from here on in is a must win in the Premier League and in the Champions League. We're now in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, playing that next week this time. So we need to make sure that when we play Premier League games and Premier League games only, we focus in on that. Don't worry about the Champions League until next week. Let's go in there. Let's go beat Luton Town. Hopefully go beat Brighton. And then we can worry about the Champions League. But we can't worry about that right now. We need to go beat Luton Town. Especially with the fact that Man City, quote unquote, this may go down bad. But Man City may slip up. They're going to be taking on Aston Villa at home in the Etihad Stadium. So they may slip up. You never know. And then the next day is Liverpool or Sheffield United. And Liverpool won't slip up there. But we need to make sure that we get our 3 points against Luton Town. We must do our part now. We're 2 points off the league leaders, Liverpool. We need to do our part. So in today's video, we'll be previewing the game, talking about the potential starting 11 and how I think the game will go. So what's going on, everyone? You are watching Gunner Central here. I hope you are all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, we're coming into this game against Luton Town off that 0-0 draw against City. Very, very good defensive display, especially from Saliba and Gabriel. But offensively, we were dreadful. Now, that is down to City's press being so good and so high. It was very hard to play out of it. But also, we looked like we just made sure we didn't want to lose the game, which isn't the end of the world. It's fine. This is the first time, I think, in 2 years that City haven't scored in the Etihad Stadium in a game. I'll take that. But I'm expecting our game plan to be a lot different than it was against City. This time against Luton Town, we're going to have the ball a lot more than 20% possession like we did against City. So I'm expecting to have a lot more of the ball, expecting to control the game a lot more, and I'm expecting a few goals on our side. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If you look at our last 5 games, we look really, really good on paper. Obviously, outside of that 1-1 draw against City, in our last 4 games before that game, was every one of them being a win. We only conceded 2 goals in our last 5 games. Those 2 goals being 1 against Brentford and 1 against Newcastle. That Newcastle one as well was like a consolation prize for Newcastle. So I don't really care about that goal. We also have the least amount of conceded goals in the Premier League with only 24 goals conceded this late on in the season, which is in itself an outstanding stat. And Luton Town, on the other hand, are looking really dreadful. Now, Luton Town are actually a surprisingly decent team offensively. They're ranked 12th in the Premier League on goals scored, but they haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 10 games. They haven't won a game in their last 10 games. They aren't looking really good as far as that goes. The only thing you have to worry about them, like we saw when they played Spurs, if they get an early goal, it's going to be hard to break them down. We need to make sure that we keep it tight defensively like we have done all season long and take our chances when they come. Let's not make this a harder night than it needs to be. Go in there, put in a good defensive display, and make sure we take our chances when they come up. Simple as that. I know it sounds easier than it is, but we need to make sure that we stay to our game plan, stay focused like we did against City, stay disciplined, and go out and win the game. Such a crucial game, such a crucial 3 points. You can't be slipping up against quote-unquote easy teams. You can't. We have to make sure we win these games. We have to make sure we take all 3 points. A draw is not good enough. A loss is not good enough. Honestly, if we draw this game, I'm counting us out the title race. That's how important these 3 points are. We need to make sure we win them. And I mean, you look at Luton's last 5 games. They have 2 draws, 3 losses. Their last loss was that 2-1 loss against Spurs. I don't know if you watched the game, but Luton Town weren't bad. They scored a nice early goal, but then they just kind of sat back and defended for a lot of the portion of the game. And Spurs eventually had their way with them. Their 4-3 loss against Bournemouth was a good watch, but again, Luton Town defensively are just so bad. Again, you look at Luton Town, despite them sitting 18th in the Premier League, offensively they're a really good team. In their last 5 games, they've scored 8 goals. Yeah, that's really good for the 18th place team in the Premier League. But then defensively is where they are so bad. Hopefully we can exploit that part, and hopefully we can keep a clean sheet. That'll go a long way for us. But as long as we win, I actually don't care how much we win by. I'm not expecting another 6-0 or 5-0, unfortunately. This is probably going to be like a 3-1, 2-1 situation. but I don't care. A win is a win. We need to make sure we get all 3 points. Now, going on to injuries and suspensions, we'll start off with the home team, Arsenal. All we have right now, reported right now, is Jurrien Timber is out. That's all we have. And Jurrien Timber is closing in on recovering towards the end of April. So the fact that we only have Jurrien Timber out, Thomas Partey is back and he looked pretty decent against City. I'm starting to get excited that this team is finally back to full fitness, obviously outside of Jurrien Timber. So injuries and suspensions wise, we look really strong and we look ready for Luton Town. Then you look at Luton Town's injuries and suspensions and they're pretty hefty. Lokonga, the Arsenal player who's looked really good for Luton Town in times, he's out at least until late April. Bell will also probably be out for the game for Luton Town. Ogbeni's going to be out till late April. Potts may be out for the game against Arsenal. Adebayo is going to be out till mid-May. Osho is going to be out till mid-April. Brown is going to be out till mid-April. Anderson's going to be out till late April. Nakamba's going to be out till mid-May. Lockyer, if he's ever going to come back, unfortunately, is out until next season. This Luton Town team, they are not a good team on paper. Then you add on all the injuries that they have. I'm sorry, this is a must-win. If we don't win this game, this is going to be such a slip-up. We need to win this game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, onto the starting 11 that I would play if I was in charge. I think I'd go pretty similar to how we went against City, but obviously you do have to account for rotation and for resting players and all that. I think in goal is David Raya. My left back, Kiwior has been so good, but I wouldn't mind Zinchenko. But I would still start Kiwior just because Luton Town are a really good attacking team. So for me, I go left back Kiwior. If Luton Town were any worse attacking wise, then I wouldn't mind Zinchenko playing. But because Luton Town are a good attacking team, Kiwior starts at left back. Right back for me is Ben White, my two centre backs, Gabriel and Saliba, who did so well pockets in Haaland. They obviously start the game as well for me. Then in midfield, you could argue Thomas Partey starts in CDM and Declan Rice goes to his 8. But I think it's not that deep of a game. We don't have to sit that deep. We don't have to be defensive. You go Declan Rice CDM for me next to Martin Odegaard, and I would put in Kai Havertz. I thought Kai Havertz was really good as a sole number 9 against City, as he has been all season long, to be fair. But in midfield, I think he'll add that physicality that we need against Luton Town. So for me, I have Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, and Declan Rice in midfield. Left wing, you could argue that you want Trossard there. You could argue that you want Gabby Jesus there because Gabby Jesus didn't look too bad at left wing against City. But I'm going Gabby Martinelli. He didn't really do much against City, but he wasn't on for long enough to do anything. He's back from injury. I think this is a good time for him to start. Left wing for me, Gabby Martinelli. Right wing is the one that is getting a lot of slack from that City performance. For me, I'm putting Bukayo Saka there. Yes, he wasn't great against Man City. I get that. But he had to do most of his work defensively against Man City, which not a lot of wingers are keen on doing. He tried his best, but every time he got the ball, he just got crowded out by City. Defended well. Yes, he was lacking offensively, but it is what it is. For me, right wing goes Bukayo Saka. And up top, you could argue you want Trossard. But I thought Gabby Jesus played really well against City. So for me, up top, I'm going to have Gabby Jesus. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Let me know in the comments below what starting 11 would you play for the game? What are your predictions for the game? Leave that in the comments below. Please be sure to smash the like button. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.